The phone vibrated once. Just once. That was enough. I was rinsing a glass at the sink, watching water spiral down the drain like a controlled disappearance, when her message lit the screen. Working late at the office again. Don't wait up tonight. No heart emoji this time. No forced warmth. Just efficiency. I dried my hands slowly. Too slowly. The house was quiet in that way that feels rehearsed, as if it had been practicing my absence. I typed back without hesitation. Hope you and your boss Rick enjoy the presentation. 3 dots appeared. Vanished. The silence stretched. Thick. Elastic. 10 minutes later, headlights cut across the living room wall. Too fast. Too urgent. The front door rattled. Keys clinked. Fumbled. Dropped. She stepped inside like someone walking into a crime scene they forgot to clean. Her hand was shaking. Not from fear, from being caught mid-performance. "Why are you home?" I asked. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. She stared at me as if I'd changed shape. As if the man washing a glass had quietly become a mirror. "I forgot something," she said. Her lie landed wrong. Too soft. Too late. I nodded. Calm. Measured. Inside, something ancient shifted. Not rage. Not pain. Recognition. This wasn't the beginning. This was the moment the curtain twitched and the audience finally leaned forward. I didn't confront her. That would have been crude. Instead, I watched. I watched the way she placed her phone face down now. How Rick's name disappeared from casual conversation. How her perfume changed subtle, unfamiliar, expensive. She slept beside me like a stranger renting warmth. At night, I counted breaths. Measured pauses. Memorized the distance between truth and what she offered instead. Rick wasn't just a boss. He was a pattern. Late meetings. Weekend conferences. Laughter that arrived before she finished reading a text. Once, while folding laundry, her phone lit up. "Miss last night already." No name. No context. I put the phone back exactly where it was. Denial would have been easier. Loud. Emotional. Human. But denial is for people who need comfort. I needed accuracy. So I replayed everything. The promotion she didn't get. The resentment that followed. The way Rick started driving her home. The way my questions turned into inconveniences. She wasn't cheating because she was unhappy. She was cheating because she thought she deserved more and believed I was too blind to notice. That belief was her real mistake. I became invisible on purpose. I stopped asking where she was going. I smiled more. Spoke less. I let her believe she'd won. While she slept, I copied phone records, pulled cloud backups, mapped timelines. Patterns always confess if you listen long enough. Rick liked hotels near airports. She liked Thursdays. They both liked pretending this was temporary. I booked a DNA test, not for children. For myself. I needed to know if I had become someone who tolerated this. The results came back clean. I was still me. That steadied my hand. Then Thanksgiving approached. That's when my daughter-in-law called. She didn't bother with hello. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." Her voice carried entitlement like perfume. Thick. Lingering. My son stood behind her somewhere. Silent. Complicit. I looked at the quiet house. At my wife packing an overnight bag for another presentation. I replied with a single word. Enjoy. That night, alone, I uploaded photos to a private album. My villa in Switzerland. Lake view. Stone terraces. Winter sun cutting glass into gold. I hadn't mentioned it. Not to my wife. Not to my son. Inheritance changes the way people breathe. My phone rang 71 times. I didn't answer. The evidence assembled itself like a confession that wanted to be told. Hotel receipts. Calendar overlaps. Photos Rick didn't know were geotagged. I printed everything. Paper feels heavier when it carries truth. I placed the folder on the kitchen table one evening. Neat? Aligned? She noticed immediately. "What's that?" she asked. I poured wine. Didn't look at her. "Your presentations," I said. She opened it. Her face collapsed in stages. Shock. Calculation. Fear. "I can explain." "I know," I said softly. "That's the problem." She reached for me. I stepped back. Rick called her phone. I answered it. There was a pause on the other end. Then breathing. Then silence. I hung up. She slid into a chair, like gravity had finally noticed her. I didn't shout. I didn't threaten. I simply informed. The house wasn't in her name. The accounts weren't joint anymore. Rick had been transferred quietly, efficiently. I'd made sure of that. The villa in Switzerland? Not an investment. An exit. My daughter-in-law showed up days later. Apologetic. Sweet. Transparent. "I didn't know," she said, eyes darting to the photos on my phone. I showed her nothing. I showed her the will instead. Her name wasn't there. Her smile died carefully. My wife packed her things under my supervision. No tears. She tried once more. "You could forgive me." I closed the door for her. Switzerland was quiet. Not peaceful. Quiet. There's a difference. I stood on the terrace, watching water move without urgency. My phone was silent now. No one asks favors from ghosts. I didn't win. Winning implies a game. I survived an illusion. Betrayal doesn't break you. It reveals what you were pretending not to see. And when the truth finally stands naked, you don't need revenge. You only need distance. I turned my phone off. Forever feels lighter when you stop carrying other people's lies.